Micheál, good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Daragh.
Let's get right down to business, and I suppose let's firstly talk about the history of Fleadh Nua. Some people might know this, that Fleadh Nua would have started off not in Ennis but in Dublin.
That's right, Dublin 1970, and it was in Dublin for 4 occasions, and it came to Ennis in 1974. I think they may have had the idea of moving it around the country, but it never moved from Ennis. It's been here ever since.
No better location than Ennis.
Well, always a great location. I remember myself back in the early 70s coming here for Fleadh Nua with a tent, and it was a wonderful occasion back then.
Great.
As it always is. But it was at a time really when there weren't that many festivals or big events like that anywhere in the country, and it just attracted enormous crowds here.
I suppose it's grown over the years. More and more visitors come. It isn't just Irish people that are coming to the festival. You have connections and links with musicians from all around the globe.
That's true, and it was always the case actually, because even back in the 70s quite a contingent would have come to Fleadh Nua from particularly Britain, from Scotland and England and Wales, so it always had an international flavour to it, but it started off as a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday and a Sunday, but it's gone up to 10 days at this stage now, 10 fairly full days of activities.
Very easy to organise, so.
Well, when things are working well, you keep maybe just adjusting them a little bit here and there. That's it's a good formula that we have now, and it works very well. It's very much like a performance Fleadh, not what you would associate normally with a Fleadh. An awful lot of the visitors who come to Ennis for Fleadh Nua come with instruments and just love the prospect of joining in sessions. And we have a lot of items on the programme.
Give us a flavour of what's on offer this year.
Well, much the same as previous years, but this year we start off on the first Saturday, on the 23rd. We have a reed making workshop with the renowned piper and pipe maker, particularly Cillian O'Brien from West Kerry, and this will be his 3rd year where we have these reed making workshops. And the way the reed making workshops work is that we have the first workshop on Saturday the 23rd. And the participants learn all about the basics of making reeds, and then they go off and they do some work for the week themselves and come back for a second workshop then with Cillian. So that works very well for us, and is very popular. Normally we start off with an official opening, and this year we'll have Cloughley branch of Coltis will be performing in Cushnahauna on the Saturday night, the 23rd, and that will be the official opening of Fleadh Nua. Most mornings during the week then we have a number of events that are repeated each day, starting off at the Cainteachas Cora, so an Irish language conversational session, and they take place in various places throughout the town.
Is that becoming very popular now?
It always is popular, yeah. It is, and we'd have quite a few visitors who come over and who maybe like to engage as well with that. But it's also very popular in the town, in that there's a Cora Gaeilge running maybe, I think, 3 or 4 times a week all through the year here, and it's very popular and very well supported and great to see. We follow that then with Cupán Ceol, which is an open session for musicians, and it's very, very popular with our visitors from abroad, particularly because they get the opportunity to play with some well-known musicians here in Clare, and we could have maybe up to 20, 25, even 30 maybe people.
And on that point, what country would you see most people coming from abroad?
Well, the countries I can think straight off the top of my head would be the States, Britain, France,
no surprise,
Germany, even in the Far East, maybe from China, Japan. It depends who's actually over for the week, and they come and go at different days, but it can be truly international.
Great.
At 1 o'clock then each day, Monday to Friday, we have lunchtime concerts. Now these are under the auspices of the Riches of Clare series, which is organised and run by the Clare Arts Office and curated by Mike Butler, and they're tremendous and bring big crowds to St. Columba's Church every year. And they'll take place Monday to Friday. And finally then in the afternoon we have Frank's Custí Sesiún Ceol. And Frank was a great stalwart of Fleadh Nua for many years, and he used to lead an open session in the afternoons where visiting musicians and people could come along and enjoy the music in Clare.
He was such an influential figure.
He was indeed, and to be hard, I suppose, to find somebody who plays music in Clare who didn't know Frank or who wouldn't have met Frank. And he had a tremendous influence on a huge amount, particularly young people. And that's where it's important, because you want to get them in at an early age. You want to get them to like it, and more importantly, to enjoy it. And whether you were a super performer or maybe a slightly less super performer, he was always very welcoming, and he would do anything to encourage people to play music and enjoy it. Then as we go through the week, there are quite a lot of other events. On Monday we have the Clare Trad and Community Orchestra performance. Now that's part of a programme run by Marie O'Byrne and Clare during the year, where we have Trad Orchestra preparing for various performances during the year, and community orchestra performance as well. And these are fantastic activities, because they draw in quite a number of people in the town, musicians and singers who maybe wouldn't get a chance to perform in public or get a chance to perform in groups. And all this is supported by the Arts Council and delivered free of charge to the people who are involved. On Tuesday we have a Rambling House, which is I suppose a get-together organised by the Cloughley branch, and they have this once a month in Cushnahauna, where people just gather again, play music. Also a great venue, dancing. A super venue, yeah. And we have a number of other events that will be taking place in Cushnahauna. Wednesday we have Cos Our Own. And for those of us maybe of a particular vintage, we can remember back to the old songs we learnt in school. And I think there's Rory Casey has organised or pushed this one forward. And it's wonderful, because you go back to your days in primary school and do the songs that were taught. I know in my primary school days, the singing in class was a major event, and it happened regularly. Thursday we have two additional events then. We have a lovely concert from Bríd Harper, the noted fiddle player from Donegal, and Ryan Molloy. I'm not sure where Ryan Molloy is from. I think he's up the country as well, but a fabulous piano player, keyboard player.
Yeah, plays a lot. People might know him. He plays a lot with Fergal Scahill.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. And we tend to look for a smaller concert for maybe midweek. Last year we had Maurice Lennon and his trio, but this year Bríd and Ryan are coming back to Clare for this concert, and that'll be fantastic. And as I said, it's on in St. Columba's Church, which is a beautiful venue for concerts like that. And we also have on Thursday night Céilithe, the first Céilithe of the Fleadh Nua, and we have 5 Céilithes running from Thursday to Monday night. And as usual, as has been a long-standing tradition, the first Céilithe will be with the O'Connell Céilí Band, and again, and they have a significant year this year. They're celebrating 8 years. Yes. Then moving on to Friday, we have the usual weekly Piping Heaven, Piping Hell session in Lucas's, and this is a session conceived and started by the noted piper Blackie O'Connell, and running very strongly, where only pipers and one bouzouki player take part. And it's an amazing event in its own right, because you would think that maybe 12 sets of pipes playing together should be running for cover miles away, but it's a fantastic event that happens each week. We'll also have Cillian O'Brien there on that evening. ASOG concert, which has always been a fundamental part of Fleadh Nua, which is, I suppose, a concert geared to young people, young musicians taking part. This year's concert is called Fuam Inchacronain, or The Sound of Inchacronan, and it's Tim Collins and the Crusheen Coltis group that will be organising that. That'll be a fabulous night then. Saturday, The reed making workshop is on again. There's a choir workshop in the Maria Sumter Hall, and we'll have street gigs, and we'll have plenty of performances outside on the street.
And sure, the big thing that everyone hopes for is that we have good weather.
Well, we can't do much about that.
No.
But other than maybe if the weather is a little bit inclement, we have these lovely little gazebos now where a bunch of musicians can sit in under them even, and play away on the street. We have an introduction to the Irish language and culture, which will be given by Sean McDermott, and that'll be in the Templegate Hotel. And a film from Oliver O'Connell, who has produced other works as well, and will be taking part, I think, on the opening night in the concert. And always a journey, never a destination. I suppose it looks back at the traditions and the way life was for Oliver when he was growing up, and what was going on around him, and the people that he has met, and the music he has played. But it's well worth a visit for that, and that's on in Clare as well on the Saturday. And Saturday night, of course, the Kilfenora Céilí Band are back on stage then, and that'll be a wonderful night. The singing sessions will start on Saturday night also, and that'll be in the Templegate on Saturday night, and in the Copper Jug on Sunday evening. The Sunday brings another concert, on Tradition Bio, the Living Tradition. Sunday also features the Five Counties Céilí Band, and then we move into Monday morning, which sees a bit of a slowdown, I suppose, in something. There'll be Fleadh Nua farewell session, which takes place in Glore at 11 o'clock, and we'll finish the night then with the Four Courts Céilí Band. Now, I'd also like to mention that during the previous week then, leading up to Friday the 22nd, number of schools, I think about 12 schools from Ennis and the county, will be performing in the centre of Ennis. And generally, I think the performance is about 45 minutes. And this event was started a couple of years back. I think Joe Arkins was the inspiration behind that, but it's hugely successful, and we get great support from the schools in the county, and people on the street really enjoy the performances from the youngsters.
So does that bring us to an end with the programme there?
That's a quick synopsis of the programme. But the booklets will be out within 10 days, I think, or 12 days, well in advance of the Fleadh Nua itself, and all the information and a lot more will be in those books.
With that quick synopsis, we'll leave it there, Micheál. Thanks so much for joining me. That's Micheál Ó Riabhaigh there, member of the Fleadh Nua Committee.